We are here to talk about Ithaca today. It's our day to talk about what's going on in Bulldog Country. We're going to, first of all, talk about 4K screening, which is coming up. We have Mrs. Carrie Menke in the studio with us and Andrea Newkirk as well, who will be joining us to talk a little bit about that. A little bit later on, we'll talk about the special education program as well. And we're going to talk about some of the things, some highlights from the first semester. But let's talk about 4K screening. Andrea, you're kind of the veteran of the program, so we'll make you go first. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Not bad. So that's coming up. That's kind of one of the first things we wanted to kind of push out there. 4K screening is coming around already again, isn't it?
Yes, and today is the day that we would like everybody registered by, but if you register late, that's fine as well. Registration, or the actual screening days are January 22nd and January 23rd, and we have an inclement weather day for January 30th if we have one of those days of snow days or ice days.
So parents that are listening, who is eligible, who should be thinking about getting their child ready?
So any child 3 years or 4 years old on or before September 1st of 2026.
Okay.
Can come to join us for a screening day.
So you kind of see what's going on then, and maybe if they need to be getting some more information or advice or whatever, if they're ready and those kind of things. What are some things you look for?
Absolutely. So we do sit down with the parents. So I actually sit with the parents while the special ed teacher, the 4K teacher, and the speech teacher work with the kids, and it's a play-based type learning day, and so all of the kids will come. When they come, they will do play-based things, and so we'll find out what the strengths are of each child, and then what areas that they need to work on for each child.
So it's kind of a one-stop shop.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I work with the parents, and I talk to them about things that we have in the community that they can take advantage of, and I also give them some things to take home with them to work with their child with.
You have to see whether the parents are ready too, right?
Absolutely.
That might be the biggest thing.
Yes.
As we mentioned, Carrie Menke is here as well. Carrie, good morning. Good to have you on the radio with us here today.
Hi, thank you. Good morning. How are you?
It's good. Tell us about what you do at Ithaca and your role, Carrie.
Yeah, so I am the 4K teacher. It is my first year at Ithaca, and I am loving it, by the way. And I'm just here to get the kiddos ready for kindergarten. I want them to learn to love school. We do a lot of play-based learning through projects, and just a lot of getting them ready for like self-help skills, all the things that they'll be able to do, hopefully be able to do before going to kindergarten.
What do you think is important as far as the screening process is concerned? What are some things you look for in the screening?
We are looking for, their fine motor skills, gross motor skills, personal, social skills, problem solving, their speech communication. I believe they do a vision and hearing screening. We're trying to see, what help we can give them when they go into 4K in the fall.
And in terms of physically ready, do they have to do some skills that way? Because I remember when I was way back when, you had to skip and hop and those kind of things. You still have to do that?
Yep. So we'll see if they can climb up and go down a slide, if they can do some jumping. Skipping might be in there too. We'll do some zipping of the coat, seeing if they can open jars, shut jars, just all those fine motor things too.
Yeah, I'm curious too, because the screening is in January. They're not actually starting school till next year, so you take into account how much they're going to grow and mature in that 6 months, I'm sure, too, right?
Yep, for sure. So I think that's why we have the 3-year-olds come in. That way, we can screen them and then see, even if they won't be in 4K in the fall, if they can come back the following year, and
So do you have 3K at Ithaca? Or?
We do not, no.
So it's just 4K, but you kind of start early then and check out any issues there. Andrea, anything that you'd like to add as far as what we've talked about so far?
Yeah, so the 3-year-olds, we like them to come in just to see if we can do anything to help them, even give parents suggestions. Sometimes parents don't think about maybe having them use scissors or use pencils or like Play-Doh, or we give them suggestions of things that they can do with their child that's kind of play-based, but yet help their child to develop some of these skills.
So that happens. And if there's something that's a concern, is there a chance for them to kind of like maybe go back and work on that at home and then come back and try again?
Yes, and that's why we have the testing in January. So we can give them suggestions for both 3 and 4-year-olds, and we can see if those suggestions work. Then we can check them again in a few months to see if we need to do more testing, or if maybe they've already outgrown that part. They just hadn't had access to using the scissors or other fine motor skills that they might not have been able to do, prior to coming to 4K screening.
Do people need to make an appointment, Andrea?
Absolutely, yes. So we have 3 kids every hour and a half on those 2 days, and so they'll have to register. There's a link on our Facebook page, and then we have also a Sign Up Genius where they can then schedule the actual time.
And school won't be in session for the 4Kers that day then, right?
School will not be in session for the 4Kers on those 2 days. Correct.
But Carrie, you don't get the day off, I guess, then.
No, we'll still be there that Thursday and Friday.
Sounds good. What's going on with 4K this year? Some highlights you'd like to talk about from the first semester?
Yeah, all of the kiddos are doing amazing. I think it has been a learning curve for myself, but I have been learning so much. I have an amazing aide in my room, Mrs. Deb Manning. She is one of my paraprofessionals, and I am learning so much from her just about Ithaca in general and how the 4K program runs. And it's going really well. I think the kiddos are hopefully going to be prepared for kindergarten next year.
Good. Is Bluey, is that kind of the hot cartoon? Or
it is. The kids love doing Bluey coloring pages. We do that almost every morning. So
never a dull moment, though, I'm guessing.
No, it's not.
With 4K.
Yeah, but it's fun.
Yeah, I would guess. And you probably could write a book about some of the things that they say. And
I could. I wish I had a journal of what they do say.
That's awesome.
They're fun.
Yeah. So how many do you have in your room typically then?
Yep. So I have a total of 17. So the 4K program is broke up into 2 sections. There's a morning section and an afternoon section. So I have 10 currently in the AM and 7 in the PM. So that'll be something after 4K screening. We will all meet and determine what group each kiddo that we see at the screening would work best in. If they'll be better off in the morning group or the afternoon group. We'll try to split them as best as we can evenly as far as numbers go. And then if they're needing childcare, if they're in the PM group, for example, and they need childcare in the AM, we offer a wraparound system. So if they're not with me, they can be across the hall in almost like a childcare setting.
And if parents have a suggestion like, okay, work schedule, it's much better for the afternoon or morning or vice versa, can they put in a request that way then?
They can if it does, deal with a work schedule and for a good reason, yes, they can do that.
And as far as the goals by the end of the year for 4K, where do you like to see them at, in terms of, recognizing letters and reading and things like that?
Yep. So my overall goal for them, like I said before, is just being ready for kindergarten. I just want them to all improve from the start of 4K to going to kindergarten the end of the year. But we work on letter recognition, letter sounds, number recognition. I want them to be able to count to hopefully beyond 10 by the end of the year. Colors, identifying at least 10 of those as well. Working on patterns, just all those little things I think that matter. Writing their name, which this group of kiddos this year is doing amazing on that. They're all able to write their name, and I think that's an important skill that they need to have before going to kindergarten.
Andrea, if somebody is not in the district but wants to go to Ithaca 4K, can they still do that?
Absolutely. Yes, we actually have 17 kids that have already registered. So, yes, we have a lot that are from out of the district that have registered already.
So parents, should contact the district and
absolutely. You can either call the district or we have it on the Facebook page. Both of the links to link for the registration and for the Sign Up Genius. Absolutely.
Isn't it amazing how much that these 4Kers learn? I mean, when I went to school, I was certainly, I think 6 or 7 or whatever, but way behind what today's kids would be.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, they start reading a lot in kindergarten, and that used to be a first grade skill because I taught first grade for a long time, and so first grade was really the first time that they learned to read, but now it's much more, they come to first grade with a lot of reading skills already, so definitely.
Anything either of you would like to add about 4K coming up later this month?
Well, I do want to add that we do have Birth to 3, Head Start, and Lions Club will also be there, and I will also have information from the local libraries about the activities that they have going on there. So you can, if you want some more information from Birth to 3, Head Start, they will be there at the screening as well, and those are free programs.
Good. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
You bet. Coming up again, the 4K screening for Ithaca, and that is later this month. That'll be on January
22nd and 23rd.
22nd and 23rd. Thank you.
Thank you.
Andrea Newkirk and Carrie Menke in this portion of the morning show. We have more coming up as we focus on Ithaca schools.
At Rockwell Automation in Richland Center, they're more than a company, they're part of the community. Their team includes coaches, board members, firefighters, and EMTs. Neighbors helping neighbors. Now, Rockwell wants to connect with local nonprofit and 501c3 groups for volunteer and donation opportunities. If your organization would like to partner, call 647-9400. Rockwell Automation, ingrained in the community, dedicated to making a difference.
Family Prescription Center, where your family always comes first.
Now is the perfect time to take a fresh look at your pharmacy needs. If anyone is considering a switch, the place to go for dependable service from people who truly care is the Richland Family Prescription Center. Their pharmacists and staff go above and beyond, never too busy to answer questions or help guide important health decisions. Their goal is simple: be the community's most trusted source for healthcare information. With everyone watching their budgets, they understand how dangerous it can be to skip needed medications. That's why they've always matched prices, honored prescription programs, and worked closely with patients and doctors to find more affordable options. Plus, the Richland Family Prescription Center offers free in-town delivery and free mailing for added convenience.
Family Prescription Center, where your family always comes first.
Looking for a career where tradition meets opportunity? Join the Legacy at Scott Industries, a proud family-owned business celebrating 75 years. They're expanding and hiring dedicated team members. No experience necessary. Just bring your enthusiasm. Enjoy competitive wages, benefits, and a $3 per hour night shift bonus. Apply in person Monday through Friday, 9 to 3 at 810 East Nebraska Street in Muscatine, or call 739-3171 to learn more. Scott Industries, a profit-sharing company where you can grow your career.
Putting off those auto repairs can cost you more in the long run, so now's the time to be thinking about putting your tax refund to good use and scheduling an appointment for service work or new tires. Hi, this is Sean from Sean's Auto Repair and Performance. Whether it's cars, trucks, or SUVs, you'll get courteous, quality, professional service for imports and domestics. Stops in at 184 East Mill Street, downtown Richland Center, where you'll find oil, accessories, and car audio as well. Sean's Auto Repair and Performance, 649-2886.
January 18th to the 24th is CRNA Week, and the Richland Hospital and Clinics salute the professionals who manage your anesthesia and recovery. Their advice: don't eat or drink after midnight before surgery, arrange a ride home, and always tell your provider about medications and allergies. These simple steps keep you safe. We're honoring our CRNAs all month long for their expertise and compassion. CRNAs are a vital part of your trusted care when it matters most.
We are focusing on the Ithaca School District today. We talked about the 4K screening coming up January 22nd and 23rd at the Ithaca District. Joining us next is Miss Jennifer King, special education teacher and special education director. Also in the studio today, we have Sarah Dilley, who is the elementary principal. We'll talk a little bit about what's going on at Ithaca. But Jennifer, we'll start with you.
Sounds good.
You're kind of a newbie in the studio, aren't you?
I am a newbie all over this studio, the city, the town, the everything.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself as a result of that.
Sure. I actually just started in Ithaca on December 2nd. I am in a dual role, elementary special education teacher and special education director. It is my 18th or 19th year teaching total, special education teacher the whole way through. And I've kind of transitioned now into a director role, and so far I'm really enjoying it, but I'm still kind of getting my toes wet and figuring things out.
Sure. Meeting people in the district and getting used to it?
Yes, yeah. And it's a smaller district than I'm used to. Like I came from Baraboo and Reedsburg, so a little bit bigger districts. So it's just taking some getting used to, having 4K through seniors in high school all in the same building.
Wow. And I asked you before we went on the air about a typical day. You must not have one, right?
I don't, actually. No, it varies from day to day. I have a schedule that should be followed. And most days I do a pretty good job following it, and working with the students that need some extra help. But there's always things that pop up that either need me as the special education teacher or things that need me as the special education director that aren't things I can plan for.
Right. What attracted you to this job then?
So my previous role, I was, it was a student services coordinator role. So it was kind of in between a teacher and a director, administrator role. And I just have always found that I wanted to be able to impact more students than the 10 or 15 that I worked with as a teacher. So this role came around kind of at the perfect time, and I'll name drop here. I'm good friends with Dr. Claire Federley, the superintendent in Ithaca, and she approached me about this position, and it was a great opportunity. I was able to get back into the classroom and work with students, and now take on more of a leadership role.
So that was a little bit of a goal to get back in front of students.
It was. I had been out of the classroom for about 3 years, and at the time when I left the classroom, I needed a break. And I found that, and now after about 3 years, I was like, I need some more kiddo time. So this so far has been the perfect blend.
How do you juggle with the classroom and being director as well?
I haven't quite figured that out yet, to be honest. So far, I'm actually working with another elementary special education teacher, and she and I have kind of balanced the groups that we're working with so that I'm able to work with some of the students and then get some of my other duties done as well. But it's every day, it's a balancing act, and it's kind of figuring things out on the fly.
Really, special education has changed so much, I'm guessing, in the time that, during your career.
It has. And, I don't feel like I've been in teaching that long, in education that long. I have been. But yeah, it's really changed just in the 18 or 19 years. When I started, everything was pull out. So if a student was identified with a disability, that student would leave their classroom, so leave their kindergarten classroom and come to a separate location to get instruction in whatever area. Now we're kind of focusing more on push-in or inclusion and co-teaching, where as a special education teacher, we work more closely with the classroom teacher and in the classroom setting to provide those same services. So we're just trying to keep all of the students with their peers as much as possible.
I think that's important. And isn't it interesting, sometimes a student might excel in a couple of subjects, but then struggle in another one?
For sure. And it's amazing how the students themselves can pick up on that. If you ask them, they will know what their strength is academically. They will also know where they struggle. And I think it's really important to have those conversations with kiddos as they get older. I realize when they're 4 or 5 years old, that's a little more difficult. But as they get older, to have those conversations with the students, just so that they are aware, what supports are out there. for them to get help.
You're able to see a lot of progress, though.
Oh,
sometimes, aren't
definitely,
you? Yeah.
definitely. And in previous districts, I've worked with like 1 grade level for special education. Here, I'm working across grade levels, so it's just in the month that I've been here, right? It's been amazing to see some of the students, what they're working on in kindergarten versus what a student is working on in 3rd grade or 6th grade, all the way up through 12th grade. And I'm excited to have the opportunity to work with some of these same students year after year and see, okay, this is what you were doing in 1st grade, and now this is 3 years later and you're in 4th grade, and look at how much you've grown. Like, I'm really excited to see that.
Tell me about what your role will be on the 22nd and 23rd with the 4K screening.
So I will be with the kiddos on the 22nd, 23rd. I will be in the room, playing with the kids, talking to the kids, working with them. And I'm really excited to do that. We have a couple of different questionnaires based on age that we will, as the adults, we will know what's on the questionnaires, and we will kind of go through some of those questions with the kiddos. Things like, can they draw shapes? So it'll be a play-based, like, let's draw this and see how they do. Or like Miss Menke said earlier, like climbing and jumping and skipping, those things, and we just get to play. So
how fun is that?
I know, right? Like, I'm looking forward to those 2 days. It'll be a good time.
No doubt about it. Some things that you'd like to see maybe in the future, as you hit the ground running and get more than a month behind you,
I think I just want to continue to push the students that I work with. Get them as involved in their classrooms as they can be, making sure that I am supporting as a special ed teacher the students the best that I can, and that as a director I'm supporting the other special ed staff the best that I can.
Great. Well,
so it's a balance.
Yeah.
My whole life right now is just a balancing act.
Most definitely. Never a dull moment.
It really isn't. It really isn't. But it makes the days go by pretty quickly.
I'll bet it does. Good. Well, it's so nice to meet you. Thanks for coming in today.
You too. Thanks for having me. I've actually enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
Sarah Dilly joins us as well, elementary principal. How are things going at Ithaca through the first semester?
Hello, they're going well. We have lots to celebrate. I mean, we've been talking about screening and assessing, but most recently we had a wonderful celebration to really feature the growth and the hard work of some of our students. So we had an elementary assembly. Everybody got together. Mr. Adam Hess was our MC. We had, flashing lights and music and dancing, and kids were able to really be celebrated and got awards for some of the hard work that they were doing.
That's great that you do it by semester, too.
Yes.
Celebrate the first accomplishments and things like that. That time goes by really fast, doesn't it?
It was very quick to have that first semester assembly already, upon us. One of the things that the kids really enjoyed was they were able to earn some bulldog paws. So if they were caught being good or showing good character, the bulldog way, as we say, they would earn a bulldog paw, and then we had a really exciting drawing where they could get prizes. Some students were able to have pizza with the principal, and they were able to invite a friend, and so we had a pizza party, and it was a great time. So
I wouldn't have thought pizza with the principal was an award back when I was in school.
I know. That's why they got to invite the friend.
I see. That's awesome. Because I went to school with some characters, but it wasn't that they had character, I think, lots of times. But tell us about some of the other awards that you handed out there.
Sure. Yeah, we did that Bulldog Character Award, but we also gave awards for a lot of growth on iReady diagnostic testing. So students who made a lot of gains from that original beginning of the year test to the mid-year test. We also gave awards for students who passed many lessons. So we really want to take that time to celebrate students and tell them that we notice the hard work they're putting in.
I think that's important too, and so that wasn't a statewide testing thing, that was just an Ithaca testing
That's correct.
thing.
That is our district-wide assessment that we give. Yes.
And the semester ends fairly soon, doesn't it?
It does, yes, this very month.
Next week, I believe. Somewhere in there, maybe a couple of weeks yet. So
End of next week.
end of next week, yeah.
Yes.
Tell me about wraparound care. I know we kind of alluded to it a little bit, but tell me what that's all about.
Sure, yes. As Mrs. Menke said, our 4K program runs for half days. So we understand that with work commitments and scheduling that parents need care for their child when they're not in Miss Menke's classroom learning. And as she said, our wraparound is right across the hall from their 4K classroom. And so if they go to Miss Menke's 4K class in the morning, they are welcome to stay all afternoon in our wraparound care, or vice versa, if they go in the afternoon.
That's pretty important for working parents, especially. Isn't
It is,
So-
yes. We really want to meet parents where they're at and make it easier on their schedule, and this has been a really successful program for us.
Did you tell me you had an elf shop? Is that
We
something?
did have an elf shop,
Yeah?
yes. We have some awesome staff members who are able to do their magic and set up our multi-purpose room with all kinds of great gifts for our students to go shopping. So they bring a few coins and they're able to shop for their families. I think it helps students to really have an outward focus on others, and we even wrap the gifts so they're able to provide gifts for the holidays, and kind of brightens up families, holidays, and the kids absolutely love it.
I bet that was a nice surprise for the parents. And
I'm
their
sure it was. Yes,
people.
we got some good feedback from
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. Some math plans for the next semester? Do you have anything that you like to talk in terms of math?
Math. Well, I mean, we're all listening in the news because, as you know, we had our Act 20 literacy requirement come last year. And so there's buzz that maybe the state will be requiring something similar for math. We're staying tuned. As of right now, we continue to have a strong Tier 1 math program at Ithaca. And most recently in the elementary, we're excited to be introducing some research-based interventions so that kids who need extra support are really getting that targeted help that they need.
Making math fun, right?
Absolutely, yes.
That's
yeah,
a key
it's
thing.
important. And I know that our high school math teacher has talked about really wanting the culture of math, people not to, tense up or be afraid, but to enjoy math and be able to relax and learn, and it's okay to make mistakes, and to grow that way.
Did you enjoy math back in school?
Well, not at first.
It's an acquired taste, right?
It is. I learned to, and I actually served as a math interventionist later in my career and loved that role. So
Awesome. I did not know that.
yes.
And there was a little bit of down the pike about more recess time.
Well,
too.
again, we're listening in the news, and I
Yeah.
recently had heard about a lawmaker that is considering having it be a requirement to double the recess time in elementary. Now, I know the kids would love this. We think that having recess is very important. We know what research says about kids needing to move, right? So we will keep listening in the news for some of those changes that might happen in the future, and we will accommodate our schedules so that the kids, are happy and healthy.
Typically, this time of year, when we have a typical winter, do they have recess time outside?
They do. They bring
Really?
all their snow gear. We also have people that donate if people need snow gear at school. We have a little collateral program. If you need boots or gloves or something, what can you give us so that you can borrow? So it kind of teaches, about the borrowing system. But yeah, kids love to go outside. We have a great sledding hill, so they love to get out there and play.
Great. So some things coming up for second semester. Anything you'd like to talk about or you're looking forward to, Sarah?
I feel like we just came off from our winter break with, hitting the ground running. Teachers are teaching right now, kids are learning, right? So we're kind of aiming toward those spring assessments that are coming up. We've got the forward exam, the pre-ACT secure, we've got the DLM, we've got all kinds of things coming up. So people are working hard right now, and the kids are learning, so.
It seems like you were just in here talking about the start of the school year, and here we are at this point.
That's right. When we were celebrating Ava Fargen
Yes.
with her essay, great things are happening, and we're excited for this second semester.
Yeah, that was the last time I talked to you, Ava Fargen, but quite an accomplishment. That was a statewide award for that
Yes,
youngster,
I
right?
know. We're so proud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt. Good deal. Anything else you'd like to add here this morning?
I think I would just wrap up by saying that even if families are still deciding about enrolling in 4K, please bring your child. We will be happy to have them, and I loved hearing about the play-based screening. The kids will have a good day. So I think bring them anyway, even if you're on the fence.
Okay. Andrea, again, we'd like to reiterate the coming days, the 22nd and 23rd of January, right?
Absolutely. And just like Mrs. Dilly said, if you are not sure, thinking about between two different districts, you're more than welcome to come to Ithaca and go through the screening. And if you just decide that you would prefer to send your child somewhere else, we will not be upset with you. So please just come, please register, please do the sign-up Genius to get your time set, and we would love to have you at Ithaca. So please, if you're within the district or not within the district.
It's a good reminder. Thanks for coming in today.
Yep.
Andrea Newkirk joining us, also Mrs. Carrie Menke joining us, Miss Jennifer King, and Sarah Dilly joining us as well from Ithaca as we spotlight the Bulldogs on the morning show.